Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 3rd of December. My name is Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
And Gary, how great is it to be outside on this magnificent day? We're 3 days into summer and this temperature is just smoking.
It's smoking like the real estate market, Phil. It's hot, hot, hot.
I've got to tell you, how good was the first day of summer, which was Sunday the 1st of December, where we had 12 auctions and we sold 12 out of 12, a clean sweep. If that's not a prelude to summer, Gary, I'm pretty excited about where this market's heading.
It's a pretty good December, Phil. Can we continue it? That's the big question on everybody's lips.
And the big question, Gary, is how much energy can we bring to the market? You're probably thinking, where am I going on this? Well, I'll tell you where I'm going. I was at the cinema. At the Classic Cinema, an icon of cinemas. I'd recommend if you haven't been to the Classic, go there. But I was at the Classic Cinema last week after filming last week's GPTV, and I ran into one of my favourite GPT viewers. And he said this to me, Philip, he said, "You looked a bit flat last week on GPTV.
There you go.
And I've got to tell you, I thank you for bringing that to my attention, because I watched it as soon as I went home after the movie and I watched GPTV and I thought, you know what, Philip, you did look flat. So this is the new Energize Me, 6 espressos before filming this. I'll never ever let my energy levels down again.
No, you did. A bit disappointed, not like me, Phil. You were a bit because it was a personal attack against you. It wasn't about the show. And that same person said, "I seem vibrant and magnificent, Phil." No idea who the person was. Should we talk about real estate now?
Absolutely. Let's talk about the market.
Because let's just talk about where we are. I can't wait to talk about the market and get to this later. I think we should start here.
Okay.
Because here we are, Phil, at our end of the weekend auction. We're going to start at first. We're doing everything in reverse today. Tennyson Avenue, Caulfield North. Phil, tell us about this beautiful home.
Gary, first of all, I just want to talk about the street, because this is one of the best streets in the area. It's a wide, tree-lined street full of very, very expensive houses.
There's been sales here for like $4 million on the street.
This is a great location. So, here we have a single-fronted house, a semi, if you like. And it's a bit like the Doctor Who TARDIS, this one, because on the outside, it's a gorgeous single-fronted home. And you think to yourself, how big can it be? Well, it's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a formal sitting area, this incredible kitchen meals family room, which doubles in size as you open these concertina doors, Gary, and you sit out here on the deck overlooking the summer house. This place rocks. It's really, I mean, this is, for properties priced sub $1 million or just over $1 million, this is as good as it gets.
Let's talk about the weekend that was, Phil. Sunday, as mentioned, a clean sweep, 12 out of 12. Fantastic day, some big results. We'll wrap them up. Saturday, Phil, I think we'll just not talk about it.
No, come on. No. I think in the interests of, when we started this show,
on
Gary,
the absolute first episode, 101 episodes it was.
We said we're going to talk about the facts, the good, the bad, the indifferent, the good looking and the ugly. We're going to talk about.
Saturday was ugly.
We had a shocker on Saturday. We actually had a shocker. In fact, on Saturday night, I'm driving home thinking to myself, are we going to tell the truth on GPTV next week? And I thought, you know what? I thought, no, we won't tell the truth unless we have a really good Sunday. Anyway, the combination of Saturday and Sunday ended us giving us a result of 74%,
Philip?
17 out of 23 auctions.
That is
the industry
74%.
Clearance rate was 70%.
No, it was under 70%.
68 or 69%.
Call it
we
68.
smashed the industry, but I've got to tell you, I was panicking Saturday night thinking the moral dilemma of whether to tell the truth on this show or not. But viewers, rest assured, I am firmly committed to always giving the facts in their entirety.
And you know what?
On this show, whether we've had a shocker or not.
Thanks. And they'll all sell anyway because they're good properties and they're well priced. But some of the ones that did sell and do well, there was an apartment in the Avenue, Philip, in East St Kilda. The reserve was $500. There was some hot competition with 3 buyers there. Sold for $512,000. I had the pleasure of doing that auction, Phil. And on Saturday in Strathern Avenue in Murrumbeena, there was a property with a reserve of $765 there. And Leo Samuel, lo and behold, what a fine young man he is. He sold it for $808,000.
I just want to talk about Leo and Aviv Samuel very briefly.
Them Samuel brothers.
They are doing the most phenomenal amount of business in Carnegie, Glen Huntly, Murrumbeena, Bentley. Now, they sell everywhere, but they've really developed a niche in that marketplace, and it's a really growing market for us, that whole area.
That Carnegie, Glen Huntly.
It's a great area because we move a lot of our Caulfield South buyers through that whole way. And this channel that we've got now, Gary, of St Kilda, Caulfield, bringing those buyers you know, that are coming out of single-fronted houses wanting bigger land. But I've got to tell you, those Samuel brothers are absolutely kicking goals in that area.
5 Lock Avenue, Phil. That was a very good auction. You had the pleasure of doing that. The price is undisclosed.
Okay, well, I don't care whether the price is
undisclosed.
No, it is.
You have to care.
I'm going to talk about the price.
No, you're not going to talk about the price. But tell us about the auction.
When this price becomes public, and obviously, ultimately, once the valuer general results come through, people should make it their business to find out the result of this house, because that sets a new record for a single fronted attached house.
Well, the range was in that sort of 1, 2, 1, 3, somewhere like that, and we got plenty more, we can say that. 9 Lambert Road, let's get into Sunday. You auctioned
Sunday morning,
10:30,
2 buyers went hammer and tong, and by the way, I used hammer and tong last week, and then you used hammer and tong. Hammer and tong is my expression. 2 buyers went hammer and tong there.
How do you own hammer and tong? Who do you think you are?
You can't have 2 people using the expression.
Well, I'll have hammer and tong. You find another expression.
You can have hammer and tong next week. I've got hammer and tong this week. 2 buyers went hammer and tong. We passed it in, got the buyer up considerably, sold it. Everyone went home a winner.
11 at 64 Alma Road. Phillip was passed in at 440 and sold post-auction $495,000 disclosed. 370 Glen Ira Road, Phil, was passed in at 905, but lo and behold, it sold for more. Lo and behold, I'm going to have lo and behold. You have hammer and tong and the fly. Sold for $985,000. Well done to you, Philip Kingston. You're involved in that. Narrong Road on the market at $560,000 and sold for $632.5. I think that was Leor's.
Result, I thought.
Good
well
result.
Done again, Leor.
28 Lucan Street, Phil, is undisclosed.
It is undisclosed, but...
you were raving about that property.
Well, I've got to tell you...
Someone we know bought it.
It's a house that I always wanted to buy, right? Because I love that house, I love that block of land. Driven past that house for many, many years and thought I'd always love to buy it. I think it's a great property, a great position. And lo and behold, the property comes up for sale with us, which precludes me from buying it, but somebody I knew bought it, so I was pretty happy about that.
What does it say that the fly likes you more than me? Is there anything in there?
You know what? I can't say no flies on me, can I?
16, no, but you can say hammer and tong. 16 Mayfield Grove, Caulfield North was passed in $1,010,000.
I believe you did a good auction there, Gary.
I passed it in beautifully, Philip, but we sold it post-auction. Well done to Adam and Joel for $1,125,000. I tell you where I did think I did a pretty good auction, Phil.
Hydrate myself.
Go hydrate yourself, get that fly in there. 6 at 10 Dean Avenue is a wonderful apartment in a great location. The reserve was $520 and the vendor said, "Do you think we can get $520?" I said, "I'll try." And we sold for $574, Phil.
Wow.
3 bidders going for it hard. Other bidders didn't even get a chance to say boo.
Great position there, near our office.
27 Emma Street, Caulfield South, Phil, sold undisclosed. Well done, competitive auction.
Big auction there, Gary. We held it inside, about 100 people, and it just flew.
8 Rosemont Avenue, where GPTV was recorded last week. Sold well, Philip. It was undisclosed. All happened after the auction.
Listen, vendors, if you're watching this show, it's enough with undisclosing the sale price on your house. It's cutting down the energy and the excitement of the show. There's nothing we can talk about. Please.
It's their fault that you were being flat last week, wasn't it? It's those vendors.
Exactly. Vendors. Disclose your price. Everybody knows. I mean, there's 300 people at your auction.
Yeah, but that was
those
sold after
300
auction.
people
No, they don't know.
by at 10 o'clock that night have told 300 people each. The whole world knows by midnight.
But that was sold after auction. No one does know. 404 Glen
Ira Road.
It's our little secret. 404 Glen Ira Road, Philip, was undisclosed as well.
Another undisclosed.
Passed in, plenty of bidders for it. Let's talk about the weekend coming up.
I don't mind saying, Gary.
Oh, you don't mind saying a lot.
The sale in Glen Ira Road was a sale that I put together.
Yes.
All I can say is that the person I told about it is responsible.
Yes.
The buyer is responsible for my
the Adonis
body, V-shaped physique, Gary.
Let's talk about the weekend coming up, Phil. 35 Cedar Street, Phil, and Jeremy Rosens is auctioning that one.
Gorgeous house, that one. We've sold it before, and these people are moving on, and bless their hearts for doing so.
And Philip, at the same time at 10:30, we have an auction in Hawthorne Road in Caulfield North. That's a very good position.
And that is a gorgeous 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 1-car space, modern apartment.
Number 1, isn't it, Phil? 22 Masters Street, Caulfield. Phil, I've got the pleasure of auctioning that beautiful period home at 10:30.
What we describe as picture-perfect postcard facade. Picture postcard perfect. Anyway, you know what I mean.
You got it. 46 AB Alaba Road. Good location. I'm doing that auction, Phil.
Great location on the north side of the street, Gary. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2-car parking.
Be there at 11:30, and if you can't, then be at 311 Dandenong Road, Paran, because Mr. Jeremy Rosens is auctioning that property.
2-bed, 1-bath, 1-car space in the heart of dynamic Paran, Gary. Good block, that one.
While we're busy doing that, Phil, you're going to be at 37 Sebastopol Street in East St Kilda.
I love that street, that location. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1-car space. Great first home, great investor special. Can't go wrong buying that.
Cafes around, all around it. Hotham Street, Ripponlea. Philip, you enter via Bible Street. Now, that is a very holy location.
It is, Gary. 1 bed, 1 bath, 1 car space, polished timber floorboards throughout. Smoking hot, gorgeous apartment.
We're going to be in Wilgar Street, one of our favourite locations.
We have been on fire.
Jeremy
in
Rosens will
Street,
be there.
2 bed, 1 bath, 1 car space. Excellent apartment, that one. Great location.
And round the corner, Phil, tell us about this one
Well,
in Hewenden Road.
Bit of a favourite street of mine. Walking distance to the tram, walking distance to our office, and that is 2 bed, 1 bath, 1 car space. Snap that one up in an affordable price range.
In Barclay Street, St Kilda, Philip, you are shutting down our Saturday afternoon at 2:30. Tell us about this beautiful period-style apartment.
That, Gary, because it's apartment 2 at 230 Barclay Street, and from there I may well go and have a Campari and soda at one of my favourite bars in Ackland Street, because you can walk to there from that property.
We know, Phil. Tell us about this
Theodore
one.
Street. This is a gorgeous renovated period home, a kind of 50s, 60s period home that has been renovated to an inch of its life. It's gorgeous, and I can't wait to do the auction there.
At 11:30 a.m, Phil, you're going to be auctioning an apartment in Crimea Street, Caulfield North, and the block of apartments, here it is. And guess what? That flat there, I used to live there, Phil.
Gary, in his single days, did some things in this apartment.
No, don't be distasteful now.
He did some things in this apartment that I just
this is a family show.
I want to apologise to all of the viewers. If you ever buy that apartment,
no one want to buy into the block.
If you ever buy that apartment in there, just understand it comes with some serious baggage and history.
That's what White King's for. Okay. That one is going to be, this is deteriorated. Sunday is just as well. It's December.
That's a great block. Great
Sunday,
position.
11:30. Phil, Malvern Grove, there's an apartment being auctioned there at the same time on
what
Sunday,
a great spot
11:30.
Malvern Grove
just
is,
around the
walking
corner.
distance to Glenferrie Road at one end and Caulfield Park at the other.
Now, how's 26 Kieran Street, Caulfield South?
Well,
love that.
I love this house. I've been involved with this house from start to finish. This is about a classic 60s, 70s house as you can possibly get. And I think this auction's going to go off, viewers. So if you want to come to one of our final auctions for the year, come to number 26 Kieran Street, Caulfield South, because I will be doing that auction and I'd love to say hello to you on the day.
I'm at 12:30, auctioning 2 at 31 Travascus Street, Caulfield South. I think Travascus in Greek means good property. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
Well,
because presuming it's Greek.
Getting more and more stupid. But that is a solid brick home, and look, the floor plan on that is just sensational.
Phil, at 12:30, we're in East St Kilda. It's 10 at 75 Westbury Street.
Yep, Westbury Street's a great address. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. That's something for the superannuation fund or a first home buying opportunity.
At 1:30, Phil, we've got the most magnificent sprawling apartment in Inkerman Road, Unit 1 at 675. Isn't this a beauty? Spacious 3-bedroom apartment.
50 Norwood Road, great position.
I'm auctioning that, Phil. That's a beautiful period home.
Lucky because that's a house that you could renovate incredibly.
Can we get enough of Wilgar Street?
How good's the Wilgar? I love Wilgar Street.
So do I.
And that is a single-fronted house, 2.5 bedrooms. How you can have half a bedroom, I'm not quite sure, but we've advertised it.
Maybe there's a family with 2.5 people in it.
2.5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 off-car space.
339 Orong Road, St Kilda East. Another pretty period home, Phil.
Gorgeous.
You're going to be on a roll, and that one, people are going to go hell for leather. 2 at 273 Orong Road. That one goes up at 2:30 p.m.
Love this block. It's a Tudor-style block.
It's beautiful.
It's a ripper
English style, Phil. You'll be speaking. Who's doing that auction? I am. I might do it in an English accent.
You should
hear ye, hear ye.
You should dress up as a Shakespearean bell ringer, Gary.
I was thinking about doing that.
We should do an auction in fancy dress these days. You're an idiot. This is a house that I really love. This is an Dr. Ernest Fuchs designed a house at number 350. Okay, don't cut this. We've got to show that we do have some fun on this show. If you want to see a really cool house, come along to 352 Glen Eye Road, because it's designed by Dr. Ernest Fuchs. And the nicest couple are selling this house, and they're really cool people, and it's a cool house, and I love that house.
What's the plot? Right. 22 Tennyson Avenue. We finish off here. Thank God. Thankfully, we finished your show now. That's going to be at 3:30 this Sunday. We're looking forward to seeing you there, and hopefully I will have had my act together by then, because it's been a ridiculous 20 minutes or whatever it has. But ladies and gentlemen, it's all happening. We're going to have an end of year.
It's viewers.
Viewers, hammer and tong. You've got so many rules. We are going to be wrapping up the year very shortly. We've got a review coming up in a couple of weeks, but it still feels pretty good out there, Phil.
Gary, I'm just loving December. Yeah. I'm loving 2013. I am determined to come back in 2014 after a holiday. I'm coming back supercharged, energetic, and much more full of energy than I've had this year, Gary.
That's a wrap for GPTV on this December week. We look forward to keeping you in touch. I'm Gary Peer.
I'm Philip Kingston. Have a great week.
Bye now.